What's going on, YouTube? This is SG1 Sports, and you're watching our SEC football channel. And our 2019 college football schedule previews continue with the Tennessee Volunteers. You can see their schedule on your screen. This team finished 5-7 last season. It was not a horrible first year for Jeremy Pruitt. They had their ups and downs. Remember that had that big win against Auburn. So they showed signs, they showed flashes here and there. You look ahead to 2019, and this team should be really good offensively. They bring everyone back pretty much on offense. They've got weapons at receiver. They've got a couple of guys in the backfield that are good running backs. They've got Guarantano back at quarterback, who is, I think, kind of underrated and could really bust onto the scene in 2018. Going to have one of the best offensive lines in the SEC. So really a lot of things going for this Tennessee team on offense. Defensively, they do suffer some losses there, but the good news is that Jeremy Pruitt is a defensive coach, and so you have to figure he's going to do a good job getting some of the younger guys, the more inexperienced guys, ready to play. So yeah, there's reason to be optimistic if you're a Tennessee fan. I feel very good about this team. I think they're going to be much improved, one of the most improved teams I think across college football in 2019. And you look at the schedule, it's not horrible. They open up with Georgia State, then BYU, then Chattanooga. On the road at Florida, that's going to be tough. And they follow that up with a game against Georgia. So tough games there, but they do have a bye week in between them. Mississippi State's at home. They're going to be down a little bit, I think, this year. That's a winnable game. Alabama might be tough. I'm probably not going to win that game, especially in Tuscaloosa. But then they got South Carolina at home. UAB, Kentucky, and Missouri are on the road. Those could be huge swing games. Those games could really determine how successful this Tennessee season is. If they lose both of those, who knows? They might slip and not even get to a bowl game. They win both of those games, maybe they get propelled to 8 or 9 wins, and then they finish things up with Vanderbilt to close out the season. So again, with teams like Kentucky and Vanderbilt maybe down a little bit from where they were last season, Mississippi State as well, and Tennessee getting better, I think there is a huge opportunity to have a very solid season. I don't think that they can win the East. I still think that's between Georgia and Florida. But I think they might make a run and get number 3 in the SEC East. And again, that will probably be determined by those final 3 games. And then also that game against South Carolina, who they get at home. So you look for the easy wins for Tennessee. I think you give them one over Georgia State, Chattanooga. UAB's a good group of 5 team. But we saw what happened when they played Texas A&M last year. They really couldn't compete. So maybe I'm getting a little ahead of myself with that game, but I'm going to say Tennessee wins that one, and they get 3 wins pretty easily. I think they'll be favored against BYU, at home against Mississippi State. Probably going to be favored in that game. Might be favored against South Carolina at home as well. And that gets you to 6 wins. And then, again, if you win those final 3 games, that would put you at 9 wins. So I think 9 wins is very possible for this Tennessee team. On the flip side, if you lose, BYU is a tricky game. What if they lose that game? Lose to South Carolina maybe, and then lose those final 3 games. They might not even get to a bowl game potentially, but I feel like they're going to at least win enough of those games to get to a bowl game. So I think Tennessee, worst case scenario, they still get to that bowl game. I think 6 wins is the worst case scenario. Again, just looking at the 12 regular season games when we give you a projected win total. And again, like I said, on the best case scenario, I think that's 9. I don't see this team beating Alabama. I don't see them beating Florida and Georgia. Perhaps they pull off a big upset there. But even if they do that, they could, again, slip up and lose somewhere else. You got Kentucky and Missouri back-to-back road games. Those are going to be tough. So, I think this team is looking at 7 to 8 wins. 9, again, being the best case scenario. 6, probably the worst case scenario. If I had to pick, again, I'm going to say 7 or 8. I would probably lean more towards 8 right now. Again, I really think that this Tennessee team is going to be improved. I'm not going to make predictions. We're a long ways away from that. But just looking at the schedule, I would say they'd lose to Florida, Georgia, and Alabama. I like their chances against BYU, Mississippi State, and South Carolina. All at home. I think they can win those games. And then I would say they probably lose to Missouri on the road, or maybe Kentucky, and win the other 2 when you look at those final 3 games. So yeah, 8-4 to me is very likely for this team. 7-5, maybe a little bit more reasonable expectation if you're a Tennessee fan. Don't get too excited, but again, the options are there on offense. They have so much talent there. defensively, if they can fill some holes from some guys that they lost, I think they can be really good on that side of the ball with Jeremy Pruitt as their head coach. So the future very bright for Tennessee. I think 2019 will be a much better year for the Volunteers, and if they can keep this thing going, keep the momentum going, maybe Tennessee can get back into the thick of things in the SEC East. So that's going to do it for our Tennessee schedule preview. If you want to get the latest on all of our schedule previews and everything we're doing this offseason, head over to sg1sports.com. You can find the latest from all of our videos. Also, the videos from the NFL channel are there as well, and some exclusive content will probably be added also there on the website. So again, check that out. Leave a comment down below with your thoughts on this Tennessee team, this schedule. How do you see it playing out? Again, not the toughest schedule in the SEC, but anytime you play Alabama as your cross-divisional matchup, that does really kind of boost that schedule, make it a little bit tougher. But in the non-conference, really not that bad. And I think Tennessee will be much improved both on the field and with their overall record in 2019. Thank you for watching this video. If you're an SEC football fan, please subscribe to the channel. Leave us your thoughts down in the comments below. And for the latest in SEC football, keep it right here.